All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Listen up, Buttercup.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Art podcast. Here with the boys, we have Jackson and Ease. What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
What's up, team? How you doing? Ready for another one? Ready to do it.
Glad to have you guys. Glad to have you because this is a special one here. We're bringing you a special one that we have been waiting for a while. We have the legendary Naval Academy quarterback, naval officer, public servant. This guy's done it all. What can't he do? We have Mr. Ricky Dobbs here in the building. How are you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be here. Thank y'all for bringing me on.
We're glad to have you, man. This is an exciting one for us. Real quick, Jax, how's my echo? Does it sound too crazy here?
No, you good. You good.
I see that on the spot here. Sometimes you just got to check it out. You got to make sure we're sounding good. We're bringing you the best entertainment that we can, the best interviews that we can. All right.
High quality content. We don't play around here.
Yeah.
Real professionals. Real professionals that like to have a good time. So everybody was on time today. No CP time. We got it going. We make it happen.
Exactly. We're good to go. Hey, that's and now, Ricky, we want to take this opportunity to be able to talk a little bit about you, your background, upbringing, Navy football, how that time was, time active duty. I mean, there's so much here that we really need to hit on, man. So, is there anything that you want to say first before we begin and kick this off?
Man, first, I would thank y'all for considering to bring me on. All y'all were class of 14, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
right.
It's definitely an honor to have some of the plebes when I was a senior look up and still want to be able to reconnect and just kind of see where my life has taken me and also where I come from. Because, I had that same sentiment with the seniors and firsties that I had from when I was a plebe and they were firsties. And I try to keep in contact with them too. Obviously, I'm not on y'all level where y'all, have created a platform. So I appreciate that for y'all bringing me in. And then I also just want to start by just, as we're going to get into just highlighting, my appreciation and love for God for allowing me to be in this position and leading my path to where it went to the Naval Academy and brought me here. Because if it didn't go that way, I would have never met y'all guys.
Dang, absolutely, man.
Hey, solid. Get that up.
Man.
Get that up.
Absolutely, yeah. Respect,
That's
man.
solid.
Absolutely. And I think too, Ricky, like you said, you're our first year. I think did you make Jackson Ease do a couple chow calls before or have to work out?
No, if anything, everybody know I wasn't the one who do them chow calls. I would be trying to get everybody out of for that though. What company where all y'all in?
So I was 18th. Jackson?
Second. And me and Ease were both in the second company. So.
Yep.
Okay.
We're actually roommates too at the same time. A couple of those years.
Okay. Yeah.
And then,
so I was on
what
the
company
other
were you
side.
in?
I was in 23rd.
20. All right, living it up in 23rd. Okay, tucked away back there. Yeah, I was 18, so we were up in the front. You guys were living it up in the back a little bit.
Yeah.
So real quick, before we get into the academy time, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing. I know from Atlanta area, born, raised there, correct?
Yeah, I was born in Atlanta.
Okay.
And then
correct me here, were you also known as the mayor in high school?
Yeah. They refer to me to the mayor.
Hey.
And, they kind of has been following me everywhere I go. And even with people not knowing the prior references from like when I was in high school, they just observing me in the way that I move, being a people's person and politicking in the right way, not politicking, trying to work things over, but politicking and introducing people to people, making connections and all of that. So I've been known as the mayor of Bahrain, the mayor of Douglasville where I grew up, the mayor of Italy, the mayor of the Philippines, everywhere.
Hey,
you say Bahrain. Do you have any like crazy Bahrain stories, like something you want to share with us that you can think about off the top of your head? I see the little grin there. So
I have a lot of crazy Bahrain stories. A lot of fun ones, good ones. Yeah, I do.
We'll leave it at that.
Hey, real quick. Well, hold on. Before we leave Bahrain, that's the last time I saw Ricky in person.
Yep.
Oh,
Ricky, you remember that?
When was that?
So we were at a brunch. We were at one of those Bahrain brunches.
Yep.
Me, him, and John Webb. We all linked up. I had family out there too. And it was cool. We had a good time.
Yeah, I've been to Bahrain a lot. It's probably one of my favorite places. And then I just share this, and then we can get into our questions. So everybody asks me why I love Bahrain. Bahrain is the best place you can be stationed because of the treatment. You get world-class treatment. Everything is at your fingertips, from the, hiring a maid to clean for you,
Dang.
the laundry services. You send your clothes off, they bring it back, fold it, put on hangers if you wanted to. Just the whole overall service.
Mhm.
And then it wasn't until I got here, where I'm at now in the Philippines, on this individual augmentee, IA. And this is what I realized when I was talking to a Filipino guy, and he was asking me what was my favorite places. And I told him Bahrain. Then he was like, why? And then I was like, because of the treatment, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, oh. He said, I didn't know the Bahrainis was so nice. And I was like, yeah. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know what? I don't even know if it was the Bahrainis, because some of the Bahrainis, when you meet them, they can be a little rude, a little bit. Some. But I was like, my preface and the reason why I say that is because everybody who I was dealing with there are Filipino. So I said, dang. I said, so really, it's the Philippine culture that I love and appreciate about Bahrain. So I said, now I'm here in the Philippines, and I said, I got to soak this up.
Hey, so
I
I got to go to the source.
Yep.
Feels like home almost. That's crazy.
Okay, it's interesting. Go ahead, Jax.
So would you say that if you had to do it all over again and you were to map out like your naval career, would you say you'd want to start in Bahrain, or do you think you'd want to like, hey, let me try a couple things out before I get to, Bahrain? Or was it?
Well, if I could map it all out, I would like to definitely gonna end and have the footprint in Bahrain like I did. When I go, then you go away and then come back. Because once you get there and you're stationed there, a lot of people don't like it when they're passing through.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're coming either for a port call, or they transiting and then flying somewhere else. They like, it's hot. They don't love it. Boom, boom. But if you're stationed there, you always go back there because you love it. So I would have liked to have some experience on the West Coast, because I was on the East Coast in Bahrain and Italy, and like in the Europe area, Greece. That's the only places I've been. Up until now, I'm stationed in Japan.
Rough, yeah.
Yeah, so being stationed in Japan was the first time that I had been anywhere. Even though it's far east, I traveled west to get there. So that was the first time I went that way.
Gotcha. That's cool, man. You definitely missed out on the West Coast vibe, but I want to ask you this too. Kind of growing up and playing football and everything, and getting close, maybe going to Georgia Tech in there. What was that age when you were like, "Yo, I'm the man at this sport. This is gonna take me, places." Kind of growing up.
Let me see. I don't know. I guess I never really had that mentality.
Okay.
It was just that was like the only thing I knew for real. I played football since I was 4.
Yeah.
I started at 4, and my uncle, my mom's brother, he's the one that got me into like sports and was getting me into anything extracurricular with the sports wise. But the only thing he really introduced me to was football. So I only played football up until 6th, 7th grade. Then I started playing basketball. So those are the 2 only sports that I played. And then, I was pretty decent. Well, since I didn't really play basketball, I can kind of brag on it, because I'm not one to brag or boast. But I was a hooper, and I'm still a hooper.
You still play ball?
Okay.
And
so that's why you went to the Philippines.
I'll be hooping here. I actually had the opportunity to play at Navy, to do both. So when I was recruited, Paul Johnson recruited me. Came in, and he was gonna allow me to do both. But my freshman year, I went to Naps first.
You say do both basketball and football?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but when I went to Naps, Paul Johnson was there. Then when I came there my freshman year, Paul Johnson was there. But after the football season, he left and went to Georgia Tech. So now, after that football season too, I was gearing up to try to go out and play basketball. But Coach Neil Montalolo being his first year, taking over as head coach, he was like, nah, you need to worry about being a quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so he didn't allow it. And the next opportunity I had was after senior year. So my classmates that was playing, Greg Brown, OJ Ovaro, Romeo Garcia, all of them, I was going to go out senior year because they knew that I was going to try to come out there too. But at that point, I was just like, man, I'm just ready to graduate. I ain't trying to do nothing. I want to enjoy.
Focus on them grades, get it done. Yeah.
But in hindsight, I wish I would have did it because definitely it won at Navy, but in all the college sports, not very many people have the opportunity to be like a two-sport Division I athlete. And I wish now, if that's one thing I can go back and do over, I would go out and at least play for my senior year. Because I feel like I could have helped the team, with my energy. And then I really felt like my whole time at the academy, from freshman year to senior year, I was among one of the top shooters. And I used to rival with Chris Harris. I used to be like, man, I'm a better shooter than you.
Hey.
like that.
And,
what would have been your 3-point celebration? They be doing the crazy stuff now. Would you hit him with the arrow? What would you hit him with?
No, I was one of the quiet ones though. I was quiet. Yeah. I'll probably just point up or I don't know. I don't know what I would have did. Because
you got to get that ready.
I'm getting back on defense, ready to get it back.
Yeah, okay. All right, there we go.
Right.
That would have been wild.
Yeah, that would have been, because think about it. Like, we would have been like, all right, straight from football season, straight into basketball, and then seeing the same person on the court, like, unheard of.
Yeah. Especially if I would have went out there and been hitting the three.
Yeah.
Wait, would you have played the 2 or would you play the 1?
2. I was a shooting guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're a little bit better than Chris Harris, or what? You putting your money down there?
I mean, camaraderie-wise, obviously, because he was a GOAT, one of the GOATs at Navy.
Yeah.
So I ain't going to definitely take nothing away from him. But what I will say, if I would have stepped on that court, I would have been one they would have been talking about too.
Hey, there we go. A bit of competitive game of horse out there.
Yeah.
Hitting buckets.
We never did do that shootout.
Hey, there we go. Hey, so there we go.
We
We
never
didn't have that
did it.
Set it
shootout.
up.
Okay.
So set it up.
I can
So
line
it's
that
still
up.
to be
line it up.
determined. I had the same conversation with Kaleo.
Hey, there we go. Hey,
But Kaleo
you get
always
Frank
hit me
out
with
there too.
Kaleo, Greg Spring, yeah. But Kaleo always hit me with the stats. And he was like, the proof is in the pudding.
Money.
And then you pull out the football stats.
I thought he said the stacks. Like, oh, you got to run some money if we're going to do this 3-point
No, the stats.
He said the stats. The stats.
Nah, I ain't put no money on it. I mean, I will, but I won't talk about it.
No,
For sure.
Yeah.
Wait, so
That's the way
Ricky,
to
growing
do it.
up too, did you have any kind of military influences that kind of helped push to the Naval Academy side of things, or how did that kind of come about?
Nah, so I'll tell you my little journey with that. So one, when I found out later on, I kind of knew a little bit growing up, but I was young. My granddad was in the Army. He passed away when I was 8 years old. But moving past that, when it came time for me to, like, with the football recruiting journey, of course, because that's what I knew. I mean, to your other question earlier, I knew that I was gonna my track was gonna take me football because that's all I did since I was 4. So, and then I had, if we get into it, I'm gonna mark it so y'all can touch back on it. I had like an identity crisis while I was at Navy, because then I was wondering, like, do I play football because it's been expected of me or because I love it? Because being honest, my passion that I actually grew to love more is basketball. But football is just kind of was a way of life and doing all that. But I had more fun playing basketball. Playing football, I didn't have as much fun because I had to do too much, know too much, and keep my head like in the game. Basketball, I can be the free spirit that I naturally am. But Coach Brian Bohannon, my junior year, we was in our spring training, and he came and watched our spring practice. The coaches said he came in the middle of the school day, and he said he'll stay for practice, watch practice. And right after practice, he offered me. He was like, man, I want you to come to the Navy, blah, blah, blah. He said, you know, well, I'll offer you a scholarship right now.
And this
I
was
like,
junior
okay, I
year of high
appreciate it.
school.
Yep, springtime. It was around, I think, it was around May 9th, because I think May 14th of 2005 was our spring game.
Okay.
But it was like before our spring game. So
wow, that's impressive.
crazy, I remember those dates. But he asked me, and I told him, I was like, you know, I'll consider it. I'll think about it. I'll get back with you. He was like, all right, don't wait too long, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So afterwards, though, after we talked, he left. I told my uncle, I was like, man, hell no, I ain't going to no military. But one thing Coach Bohannon did that set him apart from any other recruiting coach that I had, but also one thing I respected about him, even hearing from the rest of my teammates at Navy on how the recruiting coaches handled them. Coach Bohannon kept it real with me. He was telling me that this is a place he probably wouldn't want to come to, and he probably wouldn't want to send his kids to because the life and, you know, all of this. But to go through it and do it, it takes a special kind of person. So he would send me stuff every week, once a week, because of the contact rules and high school back then. College coaches could only contact you once a week. So once a week, he would send me a message with, you know, some words of wisdom and then something to look at and research about the Naval Academy and all of that. So I would do that, and then I started growing, you know, to appreciate it. I'm like, they offer more when I was looking at it, more than any other college could offer. And that's one, a guarantee that you're going to be here and then you can leave, you know, finish here and not have to pay nothing. Everybody else, you get hurt on a scholarship somewhere else, you end up having to pay for it, switch to an academic scholarship. So those are one of the main things that got me to the Naval Academy. And what made it, my last two was Georgia Tech and Navy. But I had other offers from ACC schools, like Wake Forest, Southern Mississippi, Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, Western Carolina, and Georgia Southern. My goal, my dream was to get an offer from Georgia.
Okay.
That was the dream. But during my senior year, I had Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, and I think it was one more ACC school. It might have been Florida State. Yeah, I think it might have been Florida State. They came to my school about midway through my senior year, and I never forget. And this is what turned me off with Georgia, wanting to play at Georgia. Still a fan, but I was like, I wanted to play against them because it put a chip on my shoulder. They called me to the office, me and my two tackles, my offensive linemen, two of my offensive linemen. My tackles, they were 6'6" and 6'5", and they were both about 320 and 315. So everybody was big and wanted them. So, and then they was like, oh man, we got these two tackles and this quarterback that's making all this noise. I was leading the state in passing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns midway through the season. So they came up there and I walk up, then they see the two big boys, excuse me, see the two big boys come up, and then they see me. And then the Georgia coach, he was like, son, what's your name? And I was like, I'm Ricky. He was like, you Ricky Dobbs, quarterback? I was like, yes, sir. He said, dang, son, I thought you would be a little bit bigger than this.
Oh, man.
He looked down at you too? He was like, hey.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He was like, he said, you know what? He said, and then in front of the other coaches too. He said, yeah, you need to come on and talk with us. Come on to the University of Georgia. You know, we'll look at putting you at either a slot receiver, maybe some DB. You play defense.
Oh, man.
That's how I used to back in the day. But I said, but I'm quarterback though. And then he said, okay, yeah, we can talk about it. So we all sat down and they was asking us questions. And then, congratulate. But then right there, I just really felt slighted. I was like, you that was always my thing. I'm a team player. I will play any position. I can kick, punt, do all of that. I can play any position, but the first thing I want is give me an opportunity at quarterback. If you don't like what you see, put me where you need me. And that was even to NFL scouts when I had the opportunity to go to the NFL from Navy. I was like, that was my main thing. Give me that first shot because I feel like I got what it takes. Might not pass the sight test. But also to that point though, my senior year of high school, I was like 5'9.5" during the season, 5'9.5" and maybe like 167. So I was small, and I was looking it too. But before I reported, like my senior year in the summer,
I don't know if that's necessarily small. I just want to make that clear as well. But
those are
keep
Geoff's
going.
stats right there. So same way you felt slighted. He's like, "Oh, that sounds pretty hefty to me."
I don't know.
So, but I hit a little growth spurt, and then I was probably like, when I graduated high school, going into the summer and stuff, I was like pushing 6 feet. So I was like 5'11.5", and got up to like 188 because I started working out and lifting and stuff. So I got up to 188. So
that was after the coach looked down on you,
now
right?
I started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I was like, okay, coming into something. Then transition to Navy, I played at about between 205 and 215 all 4 years.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Listen up, Buttercup.